night.
Now let's update the information on the tracks. Firstly, Coongy Handicap Day at Sandown. The weather is fine and the track is good. There are 14 final scratchings. Race 1, number 4 Mountain High, all starting in the second. Race 3, number 1 Any Rhythm, number 3 Zydeco, and number 5 Dual Strike. Race 4, number 1 Happen, and 6 Swayze. Race 5, the scratchings are 6 Flak Jacket, number 8 Aphasia, and number 11 Magneto. Race 6, number 14 South Edge is a scratching. Race 7, number 4 Copper Wildwood, and number 9 Starletto, and number 18 Rambar. And race 8, the scratching is number 2 Godina. The Sandown jockey changes in the second, Minimal, Dan Nikolic, and the Mookstar, Sally Wynn. Race 4, Bronze K, to be ridden by Stan Sakos. And in race 6, Tuscany Girl is a ride for Lincoln Coffee. Race 7, Kameda Night, is a ride now for Brent Stanley. The Sandown gear changes in the second, Gold Boss, blinkers first time. Irish Squire, a tongue-tie first time. Mr Selby, blinkers first time. Rolling Dice also has the blinkers on for the first time. In race 6, El Amonte has the blinkers off, and Massawa, blinkers first time. Tuscany Girl, blinkers and pacifiers first time, and Miss Venor has blinkers on for the first time. Race 7, Likaroo, has the blinkers off, and Centre Man, pacifiers are off, but a tongue tie is on. The Canberra Cup meeting today and the ACT, the weather is fine and the track is good. 16 final scratchings for Canberra. Race 1, number 9 Sea Shark, 12 The Doctor's Son, and 15 Try Gold. Race 2, number 7 What Dreams, 18 Running Rampant, and number 19 Georgiana. Race 3 is clear. Race 4, number 9 Royal Warrior. Race 5, the scratchings are 3 Regal Curator, number 4 Amos Joe, and number 9 Pride Rock. All starting in race 6. Race 7, number 17 Anita, 18 We Say So, and 19 Royal Warrior. In race 8 at Canberra, the scratchings are 1 Indigo Joe, 2 Quick and Handsome, and 5 Supreme Butterfly. 2 jockey changes for Canberra. Race 5, Quick and Handsome, to be ridden by Jim Cassidy. And in race 6, Somewhat Black, is a ride for John Scorse. The gear changes. Race 5, Mountain Time, the bandages are off. In race 8, Iron Brew, blinkers on. And also in the 8th, Wind Taut has a lugging bit off. And now there's a re-handicap at Canberra. In race 6, number 6, Somewhat Black, has now been re-handicapped with 56 kilos. Newcastle racing today, and a pretty early start. The first race due at 10 minutes past 12 Eastern time. At Newcastle, 40 Mr Bow, $9. President Parks, $3.70. Rescue is an $11 chance. And then down to number 14, which is in the market. That's Quality Lady, it's $5.80, and above it, number 11, Speed Week, is $8.80. Tony Campbell, like 7, President Parks, 14, Quality Lady, and 5, Mr Bow. Rescue is an $11 chance. And the others in the first are Speed Week, $6.20, Quality Lady is a $4.20 chance. The late jockey change at Canberra in the second. Cranbourne Kid now to be ridden by Bob Alyssa. Cranbourne Kid race 2, Bob Alyssa. So the stall's filling very quickly now, and it's Canberra Cup Day, one of the big meetings for the ACT. And here is the voice of the ACT, Tony Campbell.
Big crowd here today, beautiful spring day in the nation's capital, and the crowd is building up all the time. We're in for a marvellous day's racing. Now, Bundawalla are about to move along, and that will leave Medicine, the last one to move up. Master Timms and Mr Bow in line. President Parks. Now, there's a riderless one over there by the looks of it. It is President Parks. The rider of President Parks, Wayne Harris, out of the saddle, and President Parks will be the last one to be called in. The race over 1,000 metres, and most of these youngsters having their first start in a race. Now, waiting on President Parks to move along. Bundawalla stands up. Now, just waiting on the President to move in. He goes in, so Wayne Harris about to remount. So stand by, folks. They're under starters' orders. Race 1, the City Index Sport Black Opal Qualifier. Master Tim's. Mr. Bow stands up, waiting on the light. A big field, the first of 8 here at Canberra. Now there's the light, they're set. And away they go, a good level start with the exception of Circuit Bid. Now President Parks didn't jump all that well, and getting out very quickly was Rescue. Speed Week moves to second on the outside, followed by Coongy Hcp. Getting up along the inside, gaining a bit of ground was Yundong, followed by Medicine. Then Quality Lady just behind that group. A further break to Pots and Pans, Bundawalla. Making up a bit of ground was President Parks, followed by Circuit Bid. In behind those, racing towards the turn, Serosity, followed then by Mr. Bow and Master Tim's last of all, but around the turn, and Speed Week raced away. Speed Week is a big leader on the turn. Yundong running second, followed then by Rescue and Quality Lady down towards the inside. The next one was Bundawalla, followed then by Medicine, running on fairly well, and back behind that group President Parks. But as they race down towards the 200, Speed Week is well clear, about 3 in front of Medicine, moving to second. President Parks moves to third, followed further back then in the field Mr. Bow, but Speed Week is well clear, and Speed Week leads all the way for a very impressive win. Speed Week first, Medicine second, now third Mr. Bow, followed by President Parks. In behind those Bundawalla, Pots and Pans, Circuit Bid further back in the field, Coongy Hcp. In behind those Quality Lady pulling up quickly, followed then by, well back behind those, then Serosity, followed by Rescue, who pulled up very quickly with Yundong and Master Tim's, one of the last across the line.
Thank God Coongy Hcp and Yundong didn't fight it out. It would have been dreadful. Speed Week, though, $5 the win and $1.90 the place. Number 4, Medicine, $2.60. Number 5, Mr. Bow, $2.70. Place getters in the first at Canberra, 11, 4 and 5. And that Protest second against first still on at Newcastle. Correct weight at sale, the exotics on that race, Quinella, $173.60. Trifecta, $3,398.70. Still standing by for the result of that Protest at Newcastle on the first, second against first. Let's have a look at the Canberra late mail. Race 5, the Tyco International Plate, a Class 6 of 1,200 metres. Number 6, Ledorfin, will be fitter for 2 runs back from a spell, and there's every indication that he's verging on winning form. A previous winner on the Canberra track, Ledorfin, indicated he was close to another success when a close second to De Schiffway over 1,000 metres at Hawkesbury on the 16th of September in a Class 6. Coming to the turn, that's Ledorfin just sitting off them there in the orange jacket and green cap. In the straight, Ledorfin bursts through, takes the lead, looks set for a victory, but De Schiffway just wouldn't go away.
Red and tough under pressure, Ledorfin raced up and took the lead. Down the outside, Carolina Kid, De Schiffway still there. Ledorfin, De Schiffway, Ledorfin. De Schiffway beat Ledorfin a half head. Carolina Kid third.
Well, today, Ledorfin will be ridden by the stylish jockey Wayne Harris and does appeal strongly. He's a 5-year-old entire, has had 5 wins and 5 minor placings. Race 6 at Canberra is the Smart Cover and Carbine Plate, a Class 6 of 1,600 metres. Number 10, Silver Roman, is a visitor from Queensland, and his form in the north is first rate. Actually, Sir Roman is chasing the hat-trick, coming off consecutive wins at Ipswich. The most recent was the 24th of September, when, in misty and murky conditions, he led all of the way over 2,150 metres and was far too strong in the run home.
To get after him if good enough, although the leader's kicked. And at the 200, Silver Roman, 2 lengths St. Louis Blues, then Bowl Mariner, followed by Criterion. But Silver Roman is clear with 100 metres left to go, and he's going to be too good for them over the final part. And Silver Roman went to the line to beat St. Louis Blues by a length and a half, about 3 lengths away, third Bowl Mariner.
Before that win, Silver Roman scored quite well over 1,600 metres at Ipswich. He's up a further grade today. He's a very bold front runner, and I'm sure he'll be hard to beat over the 1,600. Canberra Race 7, the big one, the Qantas Canberra Cup, a listed race of 2,000 metres, and number 4, Ripper, is coming off an unplaced effort in the Epsom, but he didn't have a lot of luck in the run, and it was about 5 lengths from the winner, Iron Horse. The previous recent performances of Ripper were noteworthy. He was a fast finishing second to Crows Before Dawn in the 1400 metre listed Cameron Handicap, and earlier he contested the Warwick Farm Spring Cup over 2100 metres and was a game run in this to finish third. Coming to the turn in the yellow and blue colours, that's Ripper. Now, he's not getting a lot of luck. He's hooked up behind horses, has to angle back to the inside, trying to get a run, and still there's not much room. And this rough run that Ripper had added a lot of merit to his effort.
Look at Twilight Hour coming down the outside at 100 miles an hour. Heart Ruler's in front. Twilight Hour right out under the arches has probably got there. Hard to line them up there wide apart. Twilight Hour and Heart Ruler. Good
run by Ripper on that occasion, and when you consider that one of the place getters who just finished ahead of Ripper was Heart Ruler, he went on to win the Metropolitan, so the form out of that race may be pretty strong. Ripper's a 7-year-old gelding. He's won 8 times and been placed on 16 occasions, and he has won twice previously at 2,000 metres. I think Ripper can get away with today's Canberra Cup. Just before we go to Newcastle,
Often racing, and Leading Bounty was the first out. Ahead of Flamboyant Lad, who runs to the lead early, and Maybe Rough is into stride quickly, followed by Spartrum, Rajaneer and the Arabian when they leap the first hurdle. Knowledge Box didn't jump it very well. Going past him, Legs Ahoy, and back last is Richard Cranium. Past 1,000 the first time. Flamboyant Lad went clear about 4 lengths in front as he runs to the second hurdle in the race. Maybe Rough is second, 4 lengths back as Rajaneer. 2 lengths behind them, Leading Bounty, and then a length to the grey Spartrum. 2 to Knowledge Box over on the inside of the Arabian, Legs Ahoy. And back last of all is Richard Cranium when they came off the back straight the first circuit. And Flamboyant Lad is bowling clear now, coming towards the home turn the first time round. He's opened up 6 lengths on Maybe Rough. About 6 lengths back as Rajaneer, and another 6 further back to Spartrum. A length and a half the Arabian outside Leading Bounty. 3 lengths then to Knowledge Box. Second last Richard Cranium, and Legs Ahoy whip the field in when they swing into the straight on the first circuit. Flamboyant Lad is the leader, coming down to the first of 3 down the running. He's out the best part of 5 lengths to Maybe Rough and 4.5 to Rajaneer when they come to this jump. Maybe Rough not jumping it too well, nor Rajaneer. Back behind them then is Spartrum from Leading Bounty, and then came the Arabian and Knowledge Box a good way back as they fly the second hurdle down the straight. Back behind Knowledge Box is Richard Cranium, and Legs Ahoy is behind him. They run along a bit in this, and they come to the judges' box for the circuit to run now, and the leader is Flamboyant Lad by 5 lengths to Maybe Rough. Another 5 to Rajaneer when they go to the 5th jump in the race. Back behind Rajaneer, another 6 or 7 lengths to Spartrum. Behind him, Leading Bounty on the inside of the Arabian. 2.5 lengths to Knowledge Box, who's following Leading Bounty, and then Richard Cranium and Legs Ahoy whip them in. Out of the straight now to the 1600. Still 5 to negotiate in the hurdle. And the leader is Flamboyant Lad. Still about 5 lengths in front. Maybe Rough is second. Another 5 to Rajaneer. 3.5 to Spartrum. 1 then to the Arabian. A length and a half to Leading Bounty. 2 to Knowledge Box. A half to Richard Cranium. And 1 to Legs Ahoy. They're past the 1400. Next hurdle about to loom in their sights now. Flamboyant Lad the leader by 3.5. Maybe Rough is second. 4 lengths to Rajaneer, holding down third placing as they come to this hurdle now. Back behind Rajaneer is Spartrum, a length and a half away to Leading Bounty. The Arabian niggled at from Knowledge Box. Still Richard Cranium back at the end of the field with Legs Ahoy when they go to that next hurdle down the back. And over it in front, Flamboyant Lad, but the lead's been whittled back a bit. At the 1,000, he's 2.5 in front. Running second is Maybe Rough. Another 4 lengths to Rajaneer at this next hurdle from Spartrum. Legs Ahoy making ground on the rail. Leading Bounty going through, but now Legs Ahoy seemed to get tightened heavily, hit the running rail and fell on the flat. Legs Ahoy. Off the back they come, and the leader is Flamboyant Lad by 2 lengths to Maybe Rough, 1 to Rajaneer. Leading Bounty squeezing up along the inside as they came to the turn. Spartrum dropping out. 2 lengths to Knowledge Box. Richard Cranium spotting them a long start, but he can get home as we know. And along last is the Arabian now, sweeping into the straight. And now Maybe Rough shot to the front with 2 to jump. 2 in front of Leading Bounty. Then Knowledge Box over on the inside and Rajaneer. Here's the second last. Maybe Rough hit it with everything. He stopped quickly and Leading Bounty's claimed him now. Leading Bounty racing up to Maybe Rough, and then Knowledge Box running on well. At the last, Leading Bounty over at about a neck in front. Maybe Rough kicking back. Maybe Rough is kicking back. Leading Bounty just in front. Maybe Rough's coming again. Maybe Rough's coming in and beat Leading Bounty a half a length. Knowledge Box is third. Then came Richard Cranium, who ran on for fourth from Rajaneer and Spartrum, and a long break the Arabian, and Flamboyant Lad was last to complete the course.
Number 3 may be rough. Now these are totes approximates. 790, 240, 1 leading Bounty, 250. Number 6 Knowledge Box, approximately 170.
3 may be rough, 790, 220, 1 leading Bounty, 180, and number 6 Knowledge Box to pay $2. 112.75 was the time at Caloundra, 112.75 on the placings 1, 8 and 7.
Whistling John 580 to Noble Export number 5 there at $9, and Doc Marbles number 8 is there at 10. It's a very big lineup in the next. 19 for Sakana Bow right down the bottom. 125 for Tony Campbell for the second at Canberra, and we're off to Hamilton now.
Hello Matt, welcome to Canberra Racecourse on this marvellous day for racing. Got a cloud in the sky, mid-20s for Canberra. Of course, last year it did rain, or it rained prior to the Cup, but today everything is made to order. We've got a big crowd filing into the Canberra Racecourse for the Qantas Canberra Cup, a listed race worth $100,000 over the 2,000 metres. Well, Michael Heath is the best judge in Canberra, and he joined us again today on Sky Channel. And Michael, the 2-year-old, the first winner, was very impressive.
Landed some good bets too, the winner, but race 2 coming up. They're moving in the barriers for race 2. A very good betting race downstairs. A favourite on course is number 1 starting from the Brian Guy camp. Look, I've come up with another one from John Morrissey's here. Number 8, Doc Marbles, should show a lot of pace, will go forward, looks immaculate, has improved in condition, and I expect it to be proved very hard to beat. Can't fault the condition of number 1 starting. Good Sydney form, drop in grade this afternoon, but has got 58 kgs. And number 6, Romanicize, trialled very nicely at Rose Hills recently. Recent form's not too bad. We'll get back, but we'll be storming home. But pretty hard race all round.
Numbers there, Michael?
8 from 1 and 6.
Michael Heath of the Late Mail here today at Canberra. He is the best judge in Canberra. You ask him, he'll tell you, but the form is on the board with Michael Heath and the Late Mail here at Canberra. Runners are at the barrier for race number 2, and we'll be back with that race very shortly.
Yes, he does do a lot of form, Michael Heath. In fact, I think the last time they had a trackside service there at Canberra, he tipped something like 4 or 5 winners on the day. 1 or 2 of them were pretty good prices. He's a good judge, Michael Heath. Now, they are moving in for that race at Canberra, so you'll have to be pretty nippy to get your bets on for this one. $2.90 for starting, $6 Whistling John, $8 for Noble Export, and $8.70 Doc Marbles for race number 2. There's one pulling away at the last minute. I think it might be the top weight starting, and then right through to roughies for the rest. Now, in this race, Larry Cassidy's on Whistling John. Race 2, number 2, is now Larry Cassidy. Sandown Divs, maybe rough, 790, 220 won the jump. Leading Bounty, 180. Knowledge Box, $2, 1770 Quinella. And the trifecta was $183.10 on the first event at Sandown Races. Now, Sale Totes, Raja Bell was the winner there, 362 even. Dream of the Nile, 380, and Lady in Red, 280, 1350 Quinella. The trifecta with all those lightweights, $360.30. Race number 2 at Sale. Now, it's Canberra for the second race on Cup Day. Here's Tony.
2 riderless ones, Camborne Kid, Golden Gear, Noble Export on the move, and Romanticize in the club's colours, red with a black cap, about to move along. Yes, a beautiful day, as I expect it is in most parts of Australia today. Lovely spring weather. In complete contrast to last year, it poured last year on Cup Day, as it did on Black Opal Day. But the gentleman up above has looked after us this year, and we've got a glorious day. Now, Butterscotch Blue about to move along. Romanticize pulls away from the line. Noble Export, led around by the clerk of the course. The scratchings in this race, numbers 7, 18 and 19. Now, waiting on Noble Export to move along, and that will leave Camborne Kid. And I think Golden Gear's the other one over there. Previous race today, one in good style. First up win by the John Morrissey trained galloper. Speed Week, beautifully bred by Rory's Jester out of Vain Princess. Number 11, Speed Week, Matthew Carl, the winning rider. Number 4, Medicine, second, John Scores, and Mr. Bow, number 5, Larry Cassidy, third. Incidentally, Matthew Carl's brother, Michael, who's riding exceptionally well in Queensland these days, is riding here today, so perhaps a little later we'll see a clash between the 2 Carl boys. Matthew, who's one of our leading riders in this local area, and of course Michael, who's doing so well up in Queensland. He rode 4 winners, in fact, yesterday. 4 out of 8 races, Michael, so he's done very, very well. And both the Carl boys riding here today. But in the meantime, Camborne Kid giving trouble over there at the 1200. Camborne Kid, trained by Frank Cleary. It carries the colours of Mr. and Mrs. Katie Jones. The black and yellow quarters, pale blue sleeves, and of course they're the colours trained by that former top horse Clan O'Sullivan, who was the first local horse to win the Black Opal in the Black Opal Preview. It seems such a long time ago now that Clan O'Sullivan took out the Black Opal and finished a close second in the Golden Slipper that same year behind Burst. Now, Camborne Kid, Bobby Alyssa back in the saddle, but Camborne Kid is still out of line. Romanticize has gone up. Casino King, Cream Sponge. Now, from memory, Camborne Kid played up prior to a barrier trial. It'll come out shortly. And there's another one over there with the blindfold hidden behind a car over there. What is it, number 12, I think it is? Yeah, Golden Gear. Golden Gear is still out of line. Yes, I know they couldn't get Camborne Kid into the stalls at a barrier trial after the races at Queanbeyan at the last meeting. So, and they're having a problem again today with Camborne Kid. They're trying to coax it up towards the stalls. Now, it looks as though Golden Gear's gone in. Yeah, Golden Gear's gone in, but Camborne Kid will come out. I'd suggest if he doesn't go into the stall, stand by. This could be it now. Hello. 5 past 1:05 at late scratching. OK. Number 10, Camborne Kid, taken out at 1:05. Please note, rule your ledgers. 1:05, the scratching time of Camborne Kid, refusing to move into line. The rest of the runners stand up. Dakota stands up. Butterscotch Blue, Doc Marbles. Lighters on. Stand by for a start. Race 2 and away they go. Casino King got away well. Romanticize back last, and Fairweather Girl didn't jump all that well. And Dakota showing good speed, and driving up there was Doc Marbles, followed then by Malamar down towards the inside. Whistling John is prominent. Off the track was Noble Export, and back behind those Dame Opera, followed by Cream Sponge. Fairweather Girl getting well back in the field. Sukarnabo followed by Butterscotch Blue. In behind those Romanticize second last, and Golden Gears last of all as they race down the side in the direction of the 600 metre mark. Dakota leads. I'm Captain Jack on the outside as second, followed by Doc Marbles third. A length behind those then Noble Expert, followed further back in the field on the inside was Casino King. Whistling John is between runners as they race up towards the turn, further back behind those starting, and the next one was Malamar. Oh, there's a fall. Dame Opera's down on the turn. Into the straight they race, and Dakota shot away at the top of the straight. Dakota nicely clear, followed then by Doc Marbles. Whistling John is running on. Malamar is next, followed further back to Doc Marbles, and Romanticize down the outside is putting in a run, followed by starting, but as they race down towards the 200, Dakota's the leader. Here's the danger, Whistling John, and now Romanticize. Whistling John in the centre took the lead, but it's claimed by Romanticize. A very good effort indeed. Romanticize has got up to beat Whistling John. Dakota third, followed then by Casino King, Malamar. Then starting Never a Chance, followed by Sukarnabo, Cream Sponge. Back behind those Doc Marbles, Butterscotch Blue. A break behind those Noble Export, followed then by Golden Gear. Back behind those Fairweather Girl, I'm Captain Jack. And the riderless horse, Dame Opera. Now the rider is on the track on the point of the turn.
OK. All right, Des Shaw's the jockey that came down there on Dame Opera. We'll chase up a report. 12.30, 3.80 Romanticize, $2 Whistling John, $5 Dakota, 6.24 past the post at Canberra. Newcastle Divs, race 2 is won by Romanticize and Len Beasley, 12.20, 3.70, 1.90 Whistling John, $5 Dakota, 31.60 Quinella Trifecta, 594.90 on race number 2. And still no official report on Desi Shaw's. In fact, ambulance officials are still working with Des at the scene of that accident. In the second race at Canberra. Desi Shaw's the fallen rider of Dame Opera in race number 2. Again, when he returns to the official area and is given the official examination by medical people on deck today at Canberra, if they pass on a report, you'll get it straight away. I hope everything's okay. And trackside, here's Hilton Donaldson.
Thanks, Matthew. Well, a marvellous day weather-wise here at Canberra. All the men and women have got dressed up for the day, including Michelle Tizard, who joins us live trackside at Canberra today. Michelle, what brings you to Canberra?
Well, Hilton, I'm going to be interviewing sponsors at the Canberra Cup, and of course it is a beautiful day here, and they've had great promotion and lots of people here, so hopefully we might see some fashions in the field as well, and I know you're going to talk to some jockeys and trainers, so a big day here at Canberra.
It is certainly good to see people get dressed up to go to the races.
They've made a big effort. There's lots of hats and lots of nice outfits out there on the men and the ladies as well.
We look forward to seeing you throughout the day, and you'll be joining us shortly with Colin Tidy.
Yes, I will be, from City Index Sports.
Michelle Tizard is here at Canberra. Everyone's here. Where are you, Matt?
I'm back home, Hilton, but I couldn't be part of the big crew that we've sent to Canberra this afternoon. I'd love to be there. I know it would be a terrific atmosphere, and the hospitality there of the ACT Racing Club is first class from my experience. You'll have a good day. Now, they're moving in for the debutante stakes at Caulfield, race number 2. These colts and geldings at Sandown, and the favourite's actually the Mookster here, number 9.
Not the best to begin on the outside. Away fast is the Mookster. Gold Boss is going out quickly as they settle down, and Irish Squire showing some pace. Moet Man dropped out to be a clear last, and it's Gold Boss moving up out wide on the course to join the Mookster with the rail. Minimal is third, back on the inside, Irish Squire fourth, and then Benazee on the outside. 1 to Rolling Dice, 2 to Black Bean, followed by Moet Man and Mr. Selby. Round the turn, and Gold Boss straightened up for home, led by 2 lengths to Minimal outside the Mookster. 2 lengths to Benazee, and they're followed then by Irish Squire over on the inside, and then Rolling Dice. Moet Man racing greenly, and Black Bean is still second last, nearing the 200, and Minimal cruised up to take the lead now. Got a half a length in front of Gold Boss. Here's Rolling Dice running on well on the outside. Minimal in front. Rolling Dice is coming at it every stride. Rolling Dice getting to Minimal. Rolling Dice wanted a neck to Minimal. 2 lengths away, third is a photo. Irish Squire on the inside. With it there too is Moet Man, and on the outside of them was Black Bean. A gap behind them to Benazee, and they were followed in by Mr. Selby. Then came second last as Gold Boss, and the Mooksters dropped right out to finish last.
Great. Rolling Dice, 980, 240, 5 Minimal, 220 for third, 4 Irish Squire showing 10-10 the place, or 6 Moe Man, 240.
On the Super Tab, 8 Rolling Dice, $11, 310, 5 Minimal to pay 2 even. Those for third, 4 Irish Squire, 980, or 6 Moe Man, 220.
After Minimal cruised to the front under Danny Nikolic at the 200 metres, and a photo finish to decide third place. 8.5 and a photo. 8.5 and a photo, and we'll check on that time. It couldn't possibly be correct. You wouldn't think, at 51.6. Number 4's got third, Irish Squire. So 8.5 and 4 official on race number 2. Well, those they tried have finished poorly. The Mooksters run last after showing pace, and Benazee, although a little slow out of the barriers, also hasn't figured in the finish. Black Bean was one that did run on well at the end of it. Fourth place.
Right, Totes at Caloundra race.
Into the ambulance at Canberra and will be taken straight to Canberra Hospital. That's the news in from Canberra. We won't dwell on that scene for too long. It's unfortunately a sad start to the day at Canberra. Race wins at Sandown, the newcomer. Rolling Dice, number 8, $10.90 and 3.10. Was too good for Minimal, $2. Irish Squire got third at $9.80, but there was a few horses in it for third. $34.60 Quinella, the trifecta, $2,440 on race 2 from Sandown. That combination again, Damien Oliver for Lee Friedman with Rolling Dice.
Is on fire here at Canberra in terms of tipping, and he's with us for race number 3. They're on the way to the barrier there, Michael. How do you see it?
Pretty hard race, Hilton, actually. Good betting race downstairs in the betting ring. Sir Avalanche is a favourite on course at around about half each way odds. A little bit easy. Sir Avalanche has lightened off in condition. I'm steering right away from it. I've come up with number 4, Cuckoo here. Big run first up behind Grey Bell. Meets that horse on favourable weight terms here this afternoon. Improved in condition, Cuckoo, no doubt about that. Was nominated for Rose Hill on last Wednesday, but the wet track, they decided to stick to Canberra, their home track, and it'll get a lovely run off the speed here. There is plenty of pace engaged, and it'll be the one coming into the race at the right time. Hardest to beat, definitely number 2, Grey Bell, a very promising mare. Good winner first up. Will get box seated from barrier 1. And number 9, Metar, Larry Cassidy's mount. Will get a little bit out of his ground, but conditioned by the 2 runs after a break, and will be finishing off the race very nicely in what I believe will be a strong pace up front. So I'm looking for the back marker. Summing it up, 4 from 2 and 9.
OK, Michael Heath with the late mail on race number 3, 4, 2 and 9. They're on the way to the barrier for this event.
Righto, Hilton, thanks for that. 4.29 for our good judge at Canberra, Michael Heath, with number 4 paying $5.80 at the moment, Coo Cullen. No worries about a wet track at Canberra today. They're racing on a good surface, and a lovely fine day for the main event, the Canberra Cup, which is a little bit later this afternoon. The Cup is programmed in as race 7. They've got a full field of 16 with the 3 emergencies, the only scratchings in today's Canberra Cup. Number 3, Private Stew, was a bit late going out onto the track. He's got to get around to the 1400 metre mark. We've certainly got time for a break. Back with more Sunday racing after this.